It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
P15.
Hello there everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my F1 25 My Team Career Mode. We are now at the Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas, for the US Grand Prix. That's the worst accent I've ever done and I swear I will never do that again. But if you haven't seen the last installment from Singapore, do be sure to check that one out before you see this one. Okay, it's the final quarter of the season, round 19. Let's see what we can make of the final 6 races. And when, in these final 6 races, is Max Verstappen going to be crowned champion? He has so many wins so far this season, and he's looking at grabbing another sprint win there because that's, so far, SQ1, top of the leaderboard. Yes, this is another sprint weekend. I'm hoping we can bag as many points as possible. The aim is simple. We're targeting 5th in the Constructors' Championship and taking over the spot that Williams are currently holding. It's going to be a tall order, but I believe in my team and I believe that we have the tools underneath us and the ability to take the position. So that's what we're aiming for, and SQ2 has been a success so far, getting through quite nicely, and now it's to SQ3. And I'm hoping that we can set a decent lap in the sunshine, although without the sunshine state. Yeah, that was terrible. Anyway, heading to the end of Sector 2. It's looking pretty good so far, one has to say. And as we head out of the final 2 corners, look how hard I'm pushing. I really believe that a good position is possible, and I'm going all out to try and get it. And it looks like it's going to be P7 for the sprint, so very happy with that. A lot of opportunities that can come to us from there.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? We have 10 turns to the left and 10 turns to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and turn 12 at this anti-clockwise track. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Piastri, George Russell, and Leclerc, Maloney, Sainz, Doohan, and Lance Stroll, Hamilton, Albon, Esteban Ocon, and Lawson, Antonelli, Hülkenberg, Pierre Gasly, and Fernando Alonso, Tremnitz, Hadjar, Behrman, and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
10 laps ahead of us here at the Circuit of the Americas. What can we achieve here? How high can we get up? We are underway and it's a good start by us. It looks like a couple ahead and not so good, but we're now taking the inside and we're going for a very brave dive. Unfortunately, we've made contact with Yuki Tsunoda, but the good news is we have made it to P3 on the start of this sprint race, albeit we use Tsunoda as a braking point. Little bit of contact there, but no harm done to either one of us. Well, apart from some slight side pod damage. But other than that, we're looking good. And we're looking to try and take P2 away from Yuki Tsunoda. On the straight, we're catching. We're having a look to the outside as Tsunoda covers the inside. Can we get this done? No. Tsunoda covers and moves himself back into second. And we're going to have to rethink how we're going to do it. I do have a cheeky one planned here. We're going to just send it up the inside. And Tsunoda doesn't really see that coming. And up into P2 we go. Verstappen, well, he's checked out, gone, signed, sealed, delivered. He's 4 seconds up the road, nearly 5 seconds as we're halfway on lap 2. That's such an advantage. Nobody's catching him now as Tsunoda blasts past us down the straight and moves himself up into P2. We have to settle for P3 again. I am not giving up P2 easily though, and I'm going to fight him down the inside here. Maybe clipping the rear wheel of Tsunoda, but no real damage done there as we go back to the inside and retake P2. And that is a nice little move to retake the position, but Tsunoda is not done with us. He wants P2 and he's going after it once again down the inside of turn 1, and there's only so much covering we could do there, giving him a bit of a love kiss as we do so. But Tsunoda up into second, we're down to third, but I've got another run with DRS down the straight. Can we get through here? Answer, yes we can, but we've overdone it and we've gone wide. And Tsunoda says, thank you very much, I am just going to retake that from you. Goodbye. And Tsunoda is now off down the road, but again, next lap we're trying it. And we're going down the inside. Our pace is really strong here.
Nice work, mate. That brings
but
you
I
up
feel
the
like
pace.
the DRS is really helping keep us in touch. As Tsunoda fighting us now wheel to wheel. And this is some great action here as we repass. We've got Tsunoda passing us and then we're repassing. Half of this sprint race in, and already we've had so much great wheel-to-wheel action. Here's some more for you as Yuki Tsunoda goes down the inside and takes P2. I'm going to try and go around the outside. No way there. Norris sticking his front wheels up the inside, having a little look. But there's no way through there for the British driver as we try and stay with Yuki Tsunoda for P2. This is going to be quite a tall order to stay with the Red Bull because that Red Bull is an absolute rocket ship. And unfortunately, Tsunoda has got away down the road. And we've got we've got Charles Leclerc getting interested in for third place. And Leclerc, we've gone off the road and Leclerc going through. I don't know what the Monegasque is for thank you very much. But he is now through up into P3. And Leclerc trying to stretch his legs, but we're staying with him because we're quite strong in Sector 1. And I feel like we might have the chance to get Leclerc back down the back straight. Heading downhill now to the left-hander. Leclerc just ahead. We're just behind. We clip the apex and look how close we are to Charles. We're pretty much tasting his rear wing and tasting all the dirty air from the back of his car. He goes to the left to defend. We go to the right. We're practically through. And Norris is wanting to follow us here. I've gone a little bit deep, but we still hold on to P3. And I really want this position. Lap 9 then. Final lap of this sprint. Can we hold on to third? We've got Norris right behind and Leclerc has dropped back a bit. So we're not really going to have any issues there. But here comes Lando Norris. Down the inside. Bang wheels. I brake late. I've locked up and gone off. And that is Lando Norris through. Thank you very much and gone. Meanwhile, Verstappen again is so far ahead that he could stop, have a round of golf, come back, get in the car and still be in P1. How are you liking these jokes on Verstappen so far? I've got a couple more that I'm going to try out. But anyway, Norris has now disappeared down the road and Leclerc, well, we are quite vulnerable to him. Is he going to have a look? Yes, he is down the left. What a run he had there. The speed he had coming into the corner. And Leclerc gets through up into P4. We're down to P5. But this isn't over yet because Leclerc hasn't come off the corner well. And that's allowing us to dive down the inside. Can we make it? Oh, a little bit of contact. Leclerc now on the inside. We're on the outside, going wheel to wheel, round the fast right-hander. It's a brave spot to do it, but Leclerc just having the edge on us. We try and take the inside, no way through there. Leclerc stays ahead, and a desperate lunge into the final corner leads to nothing, except me backing into hitting the rear of Leclerc, taking a bit of damage, but it doesn't matter. It's P5 in the sprint. Some good points picked up. We have pace for points here, but I think in terms of fighting the big boys, that's a bit over-ambitious at this stage. But we're getting there. The improvements to the car are getting there, and I'm confident that in Season 2, we will be able to start fighting for race wins. But right now, P5 in the sprint, that'll do. That'll do. Verstappen wins it, Tsunoda second, Norris third, Leclerc fourth, we're in fifth, and then it's Piastri, Antonelli and Russell that complete the point scorers of the sprint race.
It's the United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
Are you ready to do it all again then? Let's have qualifying for the main event, the feature race. And what did we learn in the sprint? We have good pace enough for points, but our tyre drop off towards the end of the stint we're struggling with a bit. So I do need to manage a bit more in the early stages of the stint, but if I'm fighting for position, I'm going to fight. I'm that sort of driver. I would rather fight and worry about it later. That's just my style. Anyway, first lap of Q1 done, and luckily any potential traffic we could have had peeling into the pits, we're going to get through quite nicely. P10, that'll do. Tramnit's just ahead of us there, so he's had a good session there. P11, it's P11 and P12. We need to find a bit more though if we're going to make it through Q2, which is what we're in now. And the sky's clearing up a little bit there. There was a bit of cloud, but I'm hearing they're supposed to be raining Q3, so that's going to be some very fast approaching weather, isn't it? But we're now completing our Q2 lap. Again, it's feeling pretty good. We haven't really had to push too hard. Maybe a little bit harder than I pushed in Q1, but I feel like we have got the overall pace to make it, which we do in P7. Q3 is going to be held with rain starting right at the beginning of the session, so we don't have any time to dilly-dally around. We've got to get straight out there, and look, the rain is already falling and spitting as we start our lap, so the track is going to be a bit slimy, it is going to be a bit greasy, and it is going to be a bit slippery, but I think we've done okay here. Ooh, using all the tracking a little bit more there as we come to complete our lap. I thought it was pretty good, but the reality check was there. It was only enough for P7, but I'll take it. Again, opportunities that can come our way in the race. Good place to start. Bring on the US Grand Prix.
Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself, 14 miles. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Yuki Tsunoda lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Sainz, Zane Maloney, and Piastri, Stroll, Russell, Albon, and Jack Doohan, Gasly, Hadjar, Tim Tramnitz, and Verstappen, Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Fernando Alonso, Lawson, Ocon, Behrman, and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And joining me in the commentary box this afternoon, the First Lady of World Motorsports. And
Couple of grid penalties issued there, including one for Max Verstappen, who starts 14th. What can he do from there? We're P5. We need a head of Sainz as soon as possible. And we are underway for the US Grand Prix. And Leclerc and Norris not really getting away well. Sainz is okay. And Tsunoda's trying to cover the inside line. We're going to go around the outside. We've blitzed past Tsunoda, Sainz and Piastri. And now we're challenging Tsunoda for the lead of the race, which we have just taken. Extraordinary scenes here in Austin. We are leading this US Grand Prix. Tsunoda getting quite aggressive there though, making contact with us, trying to force his way through. And we're side by side for the lead of this Grand Prix. Tsunoda though just has better momentum, taking it for now. We're going to dive back up the inside and try and retake it. Nope, we've overcooked it. Tsunoda's now back in the lead. We're in P2, but we're going to have a better exit and a better run. And we've got a bit of slipstream on the Red Bull now as we look to try and take it. Tsunoda covers. We're on the outside. And we're back into P1 and leading this Grand Prix. What an extraordinary start. And now we're coming up to complete the first lap. Tsunoda, he's not letting me disappear down the road, is he? We've come out of the last corner and we lead the first lap of the Grand Prix. That is an achievement unlocked right there. But Tsunoda now had enough of looking at my rear wing, going down the inside, and he is through. Tsunoda retaking the lead, but we're going to have a go at taking that back. There is a chance here for a huge result, and I am going to fight my absolute donkey off to try and get it. We're now looking down the inside of turn 1 on the next lap. We've retaken the lead here in Austin. This is a great fight, and just look at that move. Beautiful textbook overtake down the inside to take the lead. Tsunoda's in second, Sainz is getting interested in third. And lap 4, once again, we're covering Yuki Tsunoda. I'm going to try braking later, and Tsunoda's on the outside. He's not going to give this one up. We're going to go wheel to wheel round the complex at sector 1. Tsunoda backing out of that one, thinking better of it. And that is a wise call from the Red Bull driver as we carry on this lead on lap 4. Tsunoda having a go for it there, but not able to make any... no, he is able to make anything of it because he's retaken me. Yuki Tsunoda back in the lead. We're in P2 now and challenging for that lead. Heading into the left-hander. Tsunoda, myself, Sainz. All three of us not separated by much. You could throw a blanket over all of us as I've now got the DRS and I'm attacking Yuki Tsunoda once again down the inside, and we once again retake the lead of this Grand Prix. How long can we hold on? Not that long, because we've locked up and gone wide, and Carlos Sainz now takes the lead of the race. Carlos Sainz in the Williams now leading this US Grand Prix. That is awful news for us because Williams are our direct rivals and we were closing in on them. If Sainz wins this race, he is going to pull quite a bit clear of us, so we need to try and catch him and pass him. But the problem I'm having is that my tyres are starting to go off from where we've been fighting this so hard. And we've got Charles Leclerc and Yuki Tsunoda behind us now, both interested in having a go and trying to get past. Leclerc, is he going to have a look? Nope, I've shut that one off. But he might have a go down the straight now. And this could be where we're vulnerable. Using all of our battery to try and help us stay ahead. That's not going to work. That might have worked on F1 24, but it doesn't on this game. And Leclerc is through, but we brake ever later. And we dive down the inside. Leclerc still on the right. He is giving contact now, so he's not willing to give this up easy. Still side by side with Leclerc as we head towards the double left where we'll have the inside. Brake a bit later. Leclerc trying to fight it on the outside, but there's no fight to be had there as we retake the position and move up into P2 once again. But Sainz is loving this because he is checking out front at this stage of this US Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz now with a 2.5 second lead, and if we're not careful, he's going to stretch out too far to catch. Here comes Leclerc coming back at me, and we're going to try and cover him off, not letting him go easily, and Leclerc just having to back out. And as we go to lap 13, look at the gap to Sainz now, it's 5 seconds, and he might be thinking about what can he do. He might be thinking about potentially winning this race. Max Verstappen, meanwhile, from P14, is up into the top 5 now, so he is charging along. And Charles Leclerc's having another go there, but we're not going to let that happen. Into the pits we come at the end of lap 13, and I think Leclerc follows us in, as does Piastri, so that's not going to help them out at all. And a 2.5 second pit stop does us no harm, and now back out into the race we go.
See these tyres through to the end now.
So we're just about halfway through this Grand Prix now, and we'll be taking these tyres to the end. Hopefully I can get an undercut and close myself in on Sainz by a little bit.
Okay, so Tim
Out of the last corner, purple last sector, sorry. That'll do us no harm. Sainz is going to emerge ahead, but look how much that gap has come down by. And if we're going to challenge and do something, realistically, we need to attack now. We need to go for it now. Just go all out. Because I want this win. I really want to try and get this win. And it's right there for the taking. Okay, we might have Max coming at us a bit later, but that's a later problem. Right now, I just want to charge after Sainz and see if we can grab P1. 1.1 seconds is the gap, so we're not going to have DRS this time. But look how much we're catching. We're down to 8 tenths now, but we don't have enough battery to do anything about it down the straight. I'm literally pushing now with everything we've got, and we have managed to bring this gap down now, so we've got a race on here. This is the battle for P1 here at Austin. We're going to have a look to the inside. Sainz has that covered, and that would be too far back to go for it. We're just going to have to wait and bide our time now and go for it at the second DRS point. But look at the gap now, half a second, following right behind the Williams driver. Sainz will want to do anything to try and keep this win, and we're going to do anything to go after it. So it's game on here, and this is a rivalry between our two teams. Verstappen is now up to 5th, so that's slightly worrying. His pace has just been extraordinary, hasn't it? As we now head onto the back straight, Sainz leads, we're second, and now I'm closing in. We've got DRS, this is it then. What can we do about Carlos Sainz? Can we do it here? I've gone to the inside. Sainz moves to cover. We now go to the outside, but I've gone a little bit too deep there, and Sainz just holds on to the position as Verstappen gets past Piastri. That's worrying, but we're still focusing on Sainz, all focused on the car ahead. I did think about having a send there, but I wasn't sure it'd work. Lap 18, what can we do now? We're going to have a look down the inside of one. Can we do it? No, we've just got a bit too deep. And Sainz retakes the lead once again. And this is getting serious now, as we are really dicing it out. That was a lunge. And now we're going to have another go down the back straight, using everything at our disposal to try and get it done. Sainz covers, and react maybe just a little bit too late there, and Carlos is able to hold on just for now. But look how close we are. I don't want to give this up. I really don't want to give this up. Verstappen's now up into 3rd. That's giving me a hurry up as we go on to lap 19. But we're just not close enough to make a move. Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race, but we're just not close enough to do it there. And I'm going to have to try again next time round. Look at the lines we're taking. They're so aggressive. Now we're on lap 20. Can we do anything here? We're still a bit far back. but I'm fancying an ambitious go down the inside. Here we go. No, there's contact. We've hit Sainz and both of us have gone off. Unbelievable here. And as I forced him off there, I felt like the right decision was to let him through. Can we do it without letting Verstappen through? No. Max pushes his way through, and we've gone off the track anyway, making a mistake that allows Leclerc through too. What an absolute disaster there. We were fighting for the win, and it all went wrong, and we went from P1 to P4 in one sector, and the best of my tyres, they're already gone. And now we've got to try and fight with our tyres like this up until the end of this US Grand Prix. We've got Oscar Piastri coming at us now. He's going down the outside. I'm going to try and cover the inside, but there's not an awful lot we can do there. Piastri is he through? Not quite yet. We're still fighting him. We're still going wheel to wheel. Piastri not just backing out. And we are in P4 now. Sainz has lost the lead to Verstappen. That was inevitable. We're now covering Piastri as Piastri's going around the outside of turn 1. And Oscar Piastri makes that move stick. So Piastri now up into 4th. Oh, how wrong this one has gone. It looked like we were fighting for P1 for the most part. And now we're not even in the top 4 anymore. I think a couple of mistakes have been made there. And overall, we just don't have the car to be able to carry it. Norris is now through, up into P5. But yeah, I just don't think the car is quite there yet to be able to fight the big boys. But it's getting closer. And we had a good go for it today. Unfortunately, it's not meant to be, but we can still try and get some good points here because we're right on the back of Lando Norris. And I've decided I want that P5 back. Norris covers. We go through. Tsunoda also going for it as well. Tsunoda's now on my left. Can he make the jump up into P5? I don't think so, Yuki. I want that position. Tsunoda really going for it here. And I just run him wide there, don't I? But it is up to P5 now. And Tsunoda right behind me. You can tell now the grip is just starting to go out of these tyres.
I've got information on Lawson.
Lawson's out of the race. Tsunoda's coming back at me now. And moving into P5. Tsunoda retakes the position with the DRS. We might have another go at him if he's not too far ahead when we get to the DRS zone. And, well, that's not going to help us either because we made a mistake. We've gone wide. And we've just lost the place to Lando Norris. It goes from bad to worse for us at this US Grand Prix. How can this all have gone this spectacularly wrong? Couple of mistakes made. But now Sainz is backing everyone up. I don't know if he's got damage from our collision or not. I don't think so. But here we go now. Sainz is battling everybody else. I'm getting my way back into this, and no, we're not, because we've just gone straight into Lando Norris. I should have taken avoiding action there. I just wasn't prepared for how slow they were going into the corner. Now we've got a damaged front wing just to add to our woes. We've got Russell, Hamilton, and Antonelli all over us here. And now Russell is going to come past. I'm not going to fight him off. My goal now is just to try and stay in the points, try and stay in the top 10. Russell gets through. Hamilton is right behind me now. Yeah, the deflation is really kicking in at this stage. Sainz is still backing everything up though, so I don't know. We might still have a chance at gaining a position or two here. Actually, no, Sainz has dropped to 6, so never mind that idea. But what can we do in these final laps? Hamilton now going for the move. You don't see a move around there. I just let him go. I didn't really want to be involved in that fight. And I also was thinking if I could get behind him for the detection point, give us a dose of DRS, which we didn't get anyway. But I'm still going to have a look at Hamilton down the inside of 1 if the move is possible, which, yeah, Not with front wing damage, it isn't. Hamilton now going wheel to wheel with us. I'm trying to make him back out, but he's a 7-time world champion. You're not going to make him back out easy. And in the end, it's us that has to back out. We get a warning for a collision with him. And I think Antonelli in that moment hit me up the back. So he's got front wing damage. It's going to be P9. A race that we were fighting for the victory. How can it have gone this wrong? I think the move on Sainz was overcooking it. I think everything else that followed were just mistakes that were made out of feeling a little bit deflated. And I think it all just got to my head a little bit. And that's why there were mistakes made. I do apologise for the mistakes. Just got to move on to the next one. But it's still a good result. It's still a couple of points brought home. But it could have been more. It could have been better. And we have to look. That's what we have to look at. It could have been more.
All right, race
but
over. Take care of
points
the car
are still
on the way.
taken. Let's just move on.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen. It's what every driver imagines when they start out on their long road towards Formula One. And for our lucky three today, here's the podium waiting for them. And for those that have missed the Dutch national anthem, fear not. It's back again because Max Verstappen is back on the top step. And with that,
So there's your top 10. Well, there's the results for the weekend. Let me scroll across first. Max Verstappen winning the race from P14. Tsunoda second. Leclerc third. Piastri and Norris fourth and fifth. Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, us and Albon rounding out the top 10. So Williams gaining on us in the rivalry there. I do feel like a top 5 could have been achievable today. Even after we made the initial mistake, I think if I'd have just kept my head in it, kept my cool, we would have been in the top 5. This is the moment, though, where it all went wrong. This was an overly ambitious move, to say the least. And, yeah, it took myself and Sainz off the circuit. I was letting him back through just to sort of say sorry, and I was hoping I could stay ahead without losing the place to Verstappen, but Verstappen got through, and then this is where it just went wrong. I went across the circuit, ended up in 4th. I feel like if we hadn't fought Sainz so hard and we just tried to get him a bit later, we would have been on the top 5, or maybe even had a sniff of a podium. We weren't going to hold Verstappen back, that's a given, but we might have had a better chance at holding some of the others back. But it is what it is now. Let's just move on. Like I said, 2 points from this race. We gained some good points as well in the sprint race. We gained 4 points in there, so 6 points overall taken from this race weekend. Not too bad on paper. I'm just kicking myself for the mistakes that we made in the race. Well, thank you for watching this instalment of Career Mode. Please don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you are new here and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, guys, I have been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.